afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Thursday, November 15th, 2012. This is Texan TV News from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I am Lacey Massey. In today's headlines, Tarleton State is having improv performances, the community unites for a Thanksgiving feast, HEB's Feast of Sharing will provide over 31 dinners across Texas, President Obama is withholding judgment on the Petraeus process, beating tax cheats is key to Italy's recovery plan, Baylor women have 4 early signees. Now, today's top story. Tarleton State University students packed into the theater workshop of the Fine Arts Building at 4 p.m. to see an improv performance by Tarleton State University students. The improv cast was made up of the following Tarleton students: Garrett Lambert, Charlie Smith, Austin Long, Kaylee Carlisle, Max Stevens, and Josh Hensley. The crew kept the crowd entertained and involved in each scene they performed over the hour. Students laughed and cheered as the student actors and actresses put on a show performing acts from sentences the audience wrote before they entered the performance to politics. I caught live video of one of the performances.
Tarleton is my only friend.
What about me?
No.
And me!
I think I'm changing my mind. The two are kind of terrifying.
Especially when we show up behind you in the mirror.
Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my!
Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? You'll never guess. Guess what? We're all that annoyed like in your class.
If you are interested in seeing an improv performance by student actors and actresses, you haven't missed the chance yet. Improv will not occur next Wednesday due to the Thanksgiving holiday, but will continue the following Wednesday in the theater workshop located in the Fine Arts Center at 4 o'clock. In City News, reported by the Stephenville Empire Tribune, Morgan Mill has sent out its Thanksgiving call to officials, business leaders, Tarleton State University students, administrators, and professors, farmers and ranchers, Fort Hood soldiers, and representatives from across the county. In the early days, roughly 150 guests turned out for the feast, but in the last few years, an estimated 800 plates have been dished up to guests seated at tables in the Morgan Mill gym. This event is a community-wide effort for teams of Morgan Mill residents, pitching in to help with the luncheon. 7th and 8th grade principal Shirley Couch explained the extent of involvement shared among students and faculty alike. Faculty is among those who ensure the elderly and shut-ins don't miss out on the feast. Tarleton education students lend a hand as well, covering classes for teachers involved with facilitating the festivities. Couch gives credit to the Morgan Mill residents for shouldering the cost of the event. This year's feast will not take place Friday, beginning at 11 a.m., and will end at a tentatively scheduled 1 p.m. Couch says anyone in line waiting for a meal will get one event if runs past 1 p.m. And now today's Texas, national, international, and sports news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, HEB will hold its 24th annual Feast of Sharing from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sunday at the Laredo Civic Center, 2400 San Bernardino Avenue. The event is free and open to the public. Hundreds of volunteers will serve a feast to more than 12,000 Laredo residents. The menu includes turkey and gravy and cranberry sauce, cornbread dressing, mashed potatoes, a vegetable melody, and dessert. Guests will enjoy entertainment and activities for both adults and students. Preparing for a massive, large-scale feast of the size is no easy feat. It takes an army of volunteers to prepare 3,000 pounds of turkey, 2,500 pounds of cornbread dressing, 140 gallons of gravy, 380 gallons of mashed potatoes, 95 gallons of jelly cranberry sauce, 200 gallons of vegetable melody, 12,000 slices of pumpkin pie, and 12,000 rolls. This is a touching holiday tradition that HEB looks forward to every year, states Danny Flores, HEB Public Affairs Manager. In an HEB news release, the HEB Feast of Sharing dinners were founded in 1989 and are a facet of HEB's Food Bank Assistant Program. The program works year-round to prevent hunger in Texas and Mexico. Today, 31 dinners are held across Texas and in Mexico, with more than 250,000 meals served to communities. In national news, President Barack Obama said Wednesday he's withholding judgment about the handling of a federal investigation that cost the CIA director his job. But he's seen no evidence at this point that national security was damaged by the widening sex scandal. Obama says he has a lot of confidence generally in the FBI and offers only qualified words of support for the agency. The inquiry that led to CIA Director David Petraeus' resignation began last summer, but the White House didn't learn about it until the day after the election. 2 days later, on Friday, Petraeus resigned after acknowledging he had had an affair with his biographer, Paula Broadwell. Lawmakers are especially concerned over reports that Broadwell had classified information on her laptop. Though FBI investigators say they concluded there was no security breach, U.S. officials say Broadwell sent harassing anonymous emails to a woman she apparently saw as a rival for Petraeus' affections. That woman, Jill Kelly, in turn traded sometimes flirtatious messages with Afghan War Chief General John Allen, possible evidence of another inappropriate relationship. Obama had hoped to use the afternoon news conference, his first since his re-election, to build support for his economic proposals headed into negotiations with lawmakers on the so-called fiscal cliff. But his economic agenda had to share time with questions about the widening sex scandal. In international news, good plumbers may be worth their weight in gold, but when one was spotted zipping around in a bright red Ferrari, Italian tax police were fast on his trail. Stamping out entrenched tax evasions is crucial to Premier Mario Monti's quest to keep Italy from succumbing to the European debate crisis, and it's critical to follow Eurozone members in more dire straits such as Greece and Spain, which are also notorious for making cheating the taxman a way of life. Tax police officials say that wealthy Italians, their companies, and foreigners who make their money in Italy are increasingly trying to avoid taxes by using such strategies as falsely declaring that their base of operations or residence is abroad. Another daunting challenge is the so-called submerged economy, a term embracing Italians who declare only a fraction or nothing at all of their earnings. And dentists, lawyers, doctors, and other big-earning professionals are frequently among the worst offenders. A classic technique consists of declaring one's formal residence abroad in tax havens like Monte Carlo. Also common are companies that clearly have their businesses based in Italy but claim it is abroad in countries with far lower tax brackets. Overall, tax revenue in Italy were up by 4.1%, says the economy minister, when comparing figures from the first 8 months of 2012 with the same period in 2011, but much of that was due to new taxes and not necessarily a revolution in citizens' consequences about tax obligations. In sports news, defending national champion Baylor signed 4 players to national letters of intent Wednesday, including the top-ranked high school players from Texas and Tennessee and the younger sister of a current starter. The Lady Bears signed 2 guards from Texas, 5'11", Amon Wright from Hooks, the top recruit in the state, and 5'10", Brianna Hayden from Dallas, the younger sister of the Baylor senior Kemetri Hayden. Forward Nina Davis from Memphis is the top-ranked player from Tennessee, and 6'4" post Kada Cave averaged a double-double as a junior in Augusta, Georgia. We've liked to put pieces together that complement each other, our current team and our future, Coach Kim Mulkey said. In this class, we have the size, speed, and athleticism that will allow us to continue to compete for championships. Wright averaged 16 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 3.5 assists a game as a junior last season at Liberty Eula High. She also won 5 gold medals at the UIL state track meet as a jumper and sprinter. The 6'1" Davis, a left-hander, averaged 19.4 points, 9 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 3.6 steals a game last season while leading Memphis Central to the Class 3A state title. Cave averaged 17.3 points, 12 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 5 steals per game while shooting 56% from the floor for Lucy Lanley High. Hayden averaged 26 points and 9 rebounds at Dallas Madison High last season. Today's weather is a high of 67 degrees and a low of 40 degrees and partly cloudy. Today's forecast was produced by Savannah Trantham, Shawnee Wagner, and Alex Zoki. You can follow us on ustream.tv/chooser/Texan News Service. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan News on Facebook. I am Lacey Massey. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.